Next up, we're joined by the wonderful Betty Mutesi. Betty is the Regional Director of International Alert Africa. Betty is joining us now live from Rwanda. Welcome, Betty.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Firstly, I wanted to ask, could you tell us about your journey and how you've become the Regional Director of Africa International Alert?
Thank you once again. Yes, Betty Mutesi, African Director of International Alert. It's a long journey. I've been with an alert for the last 11 years. My journey started when I joined as project manager for one and launch and worked throughout with the organization for these years. Allow problems around social issues around security, areas around young people and how they should really put peace into the contract of what they do. So I've been with about for the last 11 years, and it's just 5 months ago that I became the Africa Regional Director, a job that I love and see it's wise to take forward for the work I've been doing here within the region, within Rwanda, and I'm really very much excited that I'm the Regional Director for Africa, trying to cover most of the countries we're working, also trying to share the experiences that I've had and enjoyed working within Rwanda in the region. So that's really more as it's a journey that is exciting, that I do the work that is really passionate because I was born in the country and I lived in a region that has really had the conflict so much to a level of experience. And so for me, it's so much joy that I'm doing this kind of work across Africa, of which I know the region needs more peace than else I could think of.
Yes. And could you tell us, what does Peace Day, 21st of September, a day of ceasefire and non-violence, mean to you, and how do you practically utilise it?
This is a very special. I tend to believe that yes, the mission to capture practice peace every day, but 21st September is very special. This is a day we reflect personally to the work that we do. It's very important for me as an individual, but also it's very important for the work that we do as an international as an organization. We do various different things across the world. And just to give you an idea, when you look at the work that we do today, for example, at the start, we were able to work with very different organizations, peace-building organizations, with the UN, on very different events around improving language, importance of language in talking about gender parity and the role of young people in peace building. When I look at the work that we did today, for example, the work we were involved in is on level, talking to one thing I'm teaming with the other women to showcase the role of women in mediation. This is really something that we need. We need women to be in the forefront and that. In DRC, talking to the young people, the local actors in northern part of Beni, where we think they ought to be discussing about the importance of peace there in DRC, and so important, but also important trying to understand the need to strengthen the social cohesion. And so this is more in the work. In Mali, for example, today, we work with civil society organizations, we work with local authorities to really bring out the importance of the role of sustainable resource management and tapping into the public discussion and how this contributes to this. Bringing many people to understand that actually it's really important for us to look at how resource management is important. And in Sevo region, for example, we counted 1,500 trees today. In Rwanda, our organization, together with the Ministry for Civic Engagement and other actors, we celebrated into the parliament, for example, working with the other people and bringing the importance of their role to build peace, not only on a day, but every day in their actions, in their findings, bringing the importance on how the future lies in how they take this theme of today as a serious matter. In the past, while holding peace, the writing speeches, the importance of peace in public places, and how on candle writing, and we think these types of possible to very many people into this. And popular industry, what in Kenya today, we're very much involved in very different public discussion around peace advocacy, on skills, on climate change and conflict and the intersector society between the two. So there is really a lot of things that many of what cancer teams in different places across the world put more effort to highlight different and various hours on which we can select display. So it is really very important for us and other organizations.
Yes, it sounds incredible. Could you tell us about the mission of International Alert and what it is that you are working to achieve?
Our mission is actually to break the cycles of violence and build sustainable peace. We work definitely with people that have been affected by the conflict, and we help them to find long-term solutions to the conflict. How we do this? We do this by bringing them together to have really a discussion in dialogue, to talk to each other across the conflict lines, so that they can really come together, to work together. We promote dialogue between different groups and so that we share policies around and practices just to reduce the violence. And we do this by engaging different actors, both authorities and very different people across lines to be able to have a discussion. And also to make sure that what we do is really sustainable and inclusive. We also have to ensure that what we do is really sustainable as a state, and our mission is also to ensure that the violence the conflict does not end up leading to a virus, and this is something that we do again. So investing very different actors and very different people work on these issues by tackling the structural issues that can lead to the conflict. So our mission is basically to ensure that we break that cycle of violence and build sustainable peace that in communities will work also beyond.
Thank you. And in your opinion, what's the greatest challenge that humanity faces in terms of our journey towards the manifestation of a more peaceful and sustainable world?
Thank you very much. I think our world is really facing very serious challenges around peace. We are facing issues around climate change. Communities have really been affected. They've been impacted. They have had reports, development, and all these that are very much interconnected. So climate change is one of the issues that I think those in peace building sector we should really look at and really try to indicate to everyone that actually there's a very strong linkage between peace and climate change. We have just seen out of forced displacements across many countries, particularly in the region wide. A lot of wars are happening. A lot of conflict and in the community. So forced displaced people are being chased out from their homes and moving to very different places. So it's really something else that I think the world needs to pay attention to. We are having serious issues on your political and political urbanization, which is really leading to inaction in many ways. And I think it's also very important that we look at that. Is there any better way we can come together? Can we have one voice and we give this world a chance for peace and give people that will live and pay this for existence? And of course, misinformation is one of the issues, again, that we see, which definitely exhibits the whole issue of conflict. And so, yeah, things are not really getting better, and I think it really calls our inaction. It calls our collective responsibility to act, to understand that peace is really cheaper than war, and this requires each, myself, yourself, and everybody to understand what it takes. It takes our willingness to act. It takes our willingness to understand that this is really very important for everybody. And our actions, from a personal level, to a family level, to a community level, to consider what we do on the global level. I think there is a really need to do something about this. And I think it is possible. We just need to pay attention.
Thank you. And finally, how can people watching this support the work of International Alert, and where do we find more information?
I think you could really find this on our website if you want more information on what to support it out in network. It's on www.international.alert.org, or you could really search for our Twitter handles, LinkedIn, Facebook, with the word International Alert. Definitely you will find us there, and we'll be able to look at the work that we do in areas where we are, and welcoming everyone to work with us, that we are able to things to their world in this world jointly we cannot.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Betty.
Thank you very much for having me.